Happy Wednesday, hockey think tankers. Welcome to another Short Shifts episode sponsored by Skate Tech. Skate Tech skate sharpening and equipment repair brings you NHL quality service at an affordable retail price. With over 23 years of sharpening and equipment customizing experience, Skate Tech serves as your personal equipment manager, providing the highest quality skate sharpening, blade profiling, team uniforms, and equipment alterations available on the market today. Let Skate Tech help you take your on-ice performance to the next level with the edge the pros trust. Check them out at skatetechsharpening.com.
What's up, everybody? Hello, Skate Tech. Hello, hockey community. What's going on? We got We got a short shifts here on a Wednesday, and we got 10 minutes on the clock. Jeffrey has no idea what the topic is going to be. This is a listener question here. So appreciate all you guys who send in some DMs on social media of some things that you want us to talk about. And so got one last week, and it is, I'm just going to read it word for word, Vax. You ready?
Hi.
10 minutes on the clock. Would love to see a post about changing lanes on the rush, the confusion it creates for D, how it isolates a 2-on-1 against the D-man, and how it can create better timing and space for guys without the puck. Love your content. Go. So basically a lot about just changing lanes on a rush and creating confusion. How do you do it? Let's go.
Start by saying hockey is chess, not checkers. And it's very easy if everybody stays right where they are and just keep moving forward, like the same levels, the same planes. So as a D-man, it's super easy if you just have to stay still and take the rush that way, right? You're creating your own kind of triangle of a 2-on-1 and a 2-on-1. As a D-man, that's how I always used to like to think about it. If you're moving, if you have a guy slicing through the middle and driving and picking a guy's stick, if you're able to do a crisscross, cross and drop without losing speed, because you're going to have back checkers coming back, then yeah, I mean, the more you move, the more you change lanes, the more you are deceptive, rather than just like, okay, this is where we are, and we're just going to go straight down the ice. Like, that's super, super easy for D-men to play it and have the shot be from somewhere that's not super dangerous, or block it or put you in the corner or whatever. So like, yeah, definitely. But like, one thing that I'll say, like, if you're the guy if you decide to like have a center lane drive, that center lane drive guy, if you can skate into a D-man, bump into him, get his stick out of the way, like, just by you hitting their stick out of the way for that 1 second, it can open up that passing lane, or it rotates that D-man just a little bit, which makes it much harder for him to do whatever he wanted to do. You obviously cannot take a penalty, but like, anytime you can drive through somebody's stick, if it's a cross and drop, you drop the puck, the guy who's running the pick after he drops the puck, like, get through that D-man stick. So it's harder for him than if it was just right there and he can just keep stick on puck like he already had it. You just changed who has the puck. So get through a guy's hands, get through their stick without taking a penalty, and you're going to create like a half second to a second where a passing lane opens up where maybe it wasn't there before.
Yeah, and you even see, like, it'll be interesting, because I feel like that will be something that will be talked about at the referees meetings, because you're seeing that a lot, that like interference with the player that's driving the net.
Legal, have to.
It's legal, right? Yeah, I mean, right as of right now, and you even see some are a little bit more subtle, where they'll just come and they'll lift the defender's stick up.
Yep.
And I probably have this year and last year 5 to 10 clips of that, like that running of the interference, with the driver. Yeah. And so, yeah, it is sneaky. It's good. You're seeing it a lot.
Do you remember, before you keep going, we're talking about the pop, do you remember, I don't know how many years ago it was now, 14 concussions. Maybe it was like 5 years ago. Maybe it was 10. I don't know. Crosby was like in the soft area in the offensive zone on the power play, I believe it was. And there was a killer right next to him. And they had their stick in one hand, like kind of covering him, quote unquote. And they passed it to him, or maybe the puck got tipped and he just popped the guy's stick up and then ripped it and scored. And it was like, wow, why is no, like, whoa. It's exactly what you're talking about here. And I just remember that play and being like, that was one of the coolest things I'd seen in hockey.
Yeah, just a different level, man. Just a different level. It's funny, when I read this message, all I can think about was my Pee-wee and Bantam coach from Russia, Stan Stiopkin, if you are a listener of the podcast, because all that he would yell in practice in his big Russian accent was cut to the middle, cut to the middle, cut to the middle. Like that's like every time we had a rush, it was all about getting to the middle of the ice. And so with that, like you're talking about changing lanes and stuff, every time you take a puck across the middle of the ice. And when we were playing like a little bit older, so not Pee Wee and Bantam, but like when we got older and you took the puck to the middle, that was a no-no. Why? Because you had Scott Stevens on the other side of the ice that was ready to absolutely murder you.
Chris right? Frank the tank.
Yeah, exactly. But now the game's played a little bit differently. So when you take that puck to the middle of the ice, what does it do? It creates confusion. And so now those 2D that are playing that rush, does that defender that's on your side, do they stay with you? And then the other D kind of come off your back and pick up the next player? Does that D let you go to the other defenseman and just kind of pick up and stay in your lane in the middle? And so if you are playing against a D core that does not have that stuff figured out or isn't good at that, especially like communicating and in taking the rush, then you're going to cause a lot of confusion. And especially when you get, one of the players driving, and then you get a third player coming up the ice, and then you got to sort it out even more. When you talk to higher level coaches, one of the things that they are really, really, really hammering in on video and in systematic type play as far as tactics are concerned is the sorting out of the rush. And those two defensemen with the back checker, who's taking the puck carrier, who's based on, how far back that F3 is, coming back on the back check, or I guess that would be the first player back. And like, do they take the puck carrier if they're near them? And then the D, go into the middle of the ice. Does the first back checker take, the F3 on offense, right? Where the D is going to ride that middle driver to the net. The other D is going to take the puck carrier. And then the back checker is going to take the high guy, and there's so many different scenarios based on pressure, based on where the puck is entering the zone, like so many different things. And that's where like not every entry was created equal. And that's why it's so difficult to sort that stuff out. And that's where you're seeing a lot of offense. That's why teams want to play fast in transition, because it takes a lot of effort and it takes a lot of communication to sort that out. And so anytime that you're changing lanes, you're going from one side to the other. NAR used to call it attack the opposite side D. So if you're getting the puck and you're on the left side, you're going to attack their left defenseman, which is kind of like on your right side, right? So yeah, it's like a diagonal. And that way, again, you're creating opportunities for switches. You're creating opportunities where they're going to have to sort it out. And anytime you can do, like when you play in straight lines offensively, that's just easy to play against. It's very, very easy to play against defensively. When you're switching lanes like that, you're creating 2-on-1s, like it said on that message. You're creating opportunities for switches. You're creating opportunities for confusion. And with that, that's a big part of it.
And think about it from the goalie's perspective too. Like the goalie is the person that you have to score against. So like think about, pretend you're in the goalie's helmet looking at a 3-on-2 coming. All right. Now pretend that you're looking out and it's just your 2D man never move and the 3 guys stay in their exact positions. Well, like at the higher levels, goalies are like mapping out where are the guys. Okay, like I've got the guy who's got the puck. That guy's right there. That guy's over there. And there's no traffic coming in front of you with your own D-men or crisscrossing or dropping, so the goalie never loses the puck. So like it's from a goalie standpoint, which is who you have to score on, it's a lot easier for him too. So it's like, and obviously there's going to be times where you're not crossing or not driving because of whatever the situation calls for. But the more you can do that, it's just going to make things a lot harder.
Yeah, for sure. And we got a minute left here. So there's one other thing I wanted to point out really, really quickly. And I've been seeing this a lot, and that is the ability for play. This is what elite players can do. They can buy time for people to get up the ice and let a play develop. Yes. So you'll see a player coming into the zone on a 1-on-2, a 1-on-3, and they kind of bring it to the middle, and then they'll bring it back to the wall, and then they'll change speeds, and then they'll stop, and they'll kind of delay. And it allows everybody else to kind of get up the ice, whether it's from a change or whether it's a flip out, whatever. And like, if you have the ability to hold onto a puck, to bring people to you, to allow for more space for your teammates coming up the ice and giving them really good conditions when you pass them the puck, like that is what a truly elite player can do. So like for everybody that's like, watch that in the games for upon entries, there's a lot of really elite players in the NHL that are really good at buying time for their teammates to get into spots. They're really, really good at bringing defenders to them. One, and the best ones bring two, maybe even three to them, and then give the puck to their teammates. Like, that is elite type stuff right there. So
it's so tough too. I ran the practice today for the college team that I'm coaching with, Maryville Men's, and a couple of 3-on-2s. I remember watching the guys just like skate right up into trouble, just didn't change lanes, they couldn't make a pass because kind of where they were, and just like skated themselves right into the boards, into the D-man, right inside the blue line, and it's exactly what you said. If you can learn how to manipulate the defender so that you can buy more time for the reinforcements coming behind you, that is a skill that translates levels and everybody is looking for. So like, it's uncomfortable and it's very hard. Guy like Topher, unbelievable at it. Guy like Paul Stasny, unbelievable at it. Guy like Jehu Lavecchio, terrible at it. So, but like, you got to practice it. You have to, because if you're not comfortable doing that, you're never going to do it in a game if you don't force yourself to work on that habit in practice. So make sure you guys are working on it.
Love it. Great stuff, Vex. All right, guys, share the show. Happy Wednesday.
Share it.